Welcome back to Kandi Wrapper 8, a program with backbone. Well, it's been a pretty interesting week in the Wilmer neighborhood. Well, the weather's been pretty awesome. Got a lot done. Hope all you guys did. Enjoy the outside weather. Now we have this little cold snap again, but that's Minnesota for you. And wow, how about that city council meeting last night? Today is Tuesday as I'm doing this. Who would have thought? But let's talk on that for a little bit. I'm not going to dwell on that either. The Tribune. Council fires Stevens. The council did not fire Charlene Stevens. The council made a motion to accept the separation agreement that her and the mayor got together on. Charlene drafted this, had her attorneys draft it, and she submitted it to Mr. Kelvin, who brought it to everybody's attention last night. Now, that separation agreement was not noted in the paper at any time. So we have all these people out there bashing all the council people and say, there's certain people say, I made a mockery out of the council meetings and hey, give me a break. You people out there that write on Facebook, you're making a mockery out of the council meeting. And some of you that spoke last night made a mockery out of it because you didn't know about this separation agreement. You might have not said what you did if you would have known about it. But just remember, Mr. Kelvin initiated and orchestrated this separation agreement with Charlene. Nobody else. He might have talked to some councilmen, but they didn't do it. He did. So let's get the facts straight, and let's point the fingers. If you want to point fingers like some of you like to do, that's fine. But again, there's more reasoning behind this than we all know. And until we all know the facts, let's back off a little bit, and let's not get so huffy, and let's not be poor losers. All you horn honkers and you sign holders and you clappers. You know, you guys made a mockery out of that meeting. I didn't get in. I was there at 6:12. It was full. Oh, I wanted to be there because my number one fan said he was going to be there. I wanted to meet him. It'll happen. But again, you people, the mayor asked, no clapping. You guys, I can sit there and not say anything. I get up and voice my opinion. I sit down and I don't act out of control like you people did last night. And I've seen it at other meetings. You act so childish. Come on. And a lot of you are churchgoers. That's what really bothers me. And you get up there and you bash people and you know, I don't get it. Everybody always brings up faith. But maybe you need to look at your faith background a little bit. I'm more spiritual than religious. I don't have an issue with the way I feel about my faith, but I have an issue with some of you people being a little hypocritical. And then last night, some of the comments made by two council people, Dennis Anderson and Audrey Nelson. I don't understand it. Everybody should have seen that separation agreement and knew exactly what was going on. Of course, Audrey, she likes to really try to find out who's behind it. But if the shoe's on the other foot, then she says, what difference does it make? Let's just go on. Okay, so with this issue, let's just go on and leave it. But you two and you keep bringing up 100, 150,000 it's going to cost us. When have you two cared about how much it's going to cost the city? You two are two of the biggest spenders, and either one of you makes a motion and the other one seconds it, vice versa. You guys spend more money and allow more consultation fees. This is just a drop in the bucket. And like I say, I don't know what's going on, all the facts. I don't really care. Done is done. I put my faith in the council. I voted for certain council people. I hope the council will do what they needed to do. I feel they did. End of story. Some of you will dwell on it. I'm not going to. But some of the stuff that was said last night does bother me. Because I still get hammered on by certain people. But after watching last night, maybe you should hammer on some of those people also. A couple citizens had some really good stuff that was brought out last night that a lot of people don't know about. And that's the bad part, people, until you get the real facts. I do a lot of digging. Like I said I was gonna. A lot of times it takes me 15 minutes and I got the info I need. Like it or not, I like investigation stuff. I like to dig. Maybe you need to dig and not listen to everybody and get your facts straight first. But again, these two council people that kept dwelling on it and throwing their little hissy fits, very uncalled for, very unprofessional. Somebody give me out there the definition of professionalism. I would really like to know what it is. Because again, that term is not what it was when I grew up. But again, the council, you guys, the council had nothing to do with this except the vote. They did what they had to do. You know, that separation agreement, the council accepted the administrator's separation agreement that was negotiated by her attorney and our city attorney. City council did not ask for this agreement, but they accepted it. So again, there is a problem in the terms of termination and separation. Somebody wants to call it termination, they call it being fired. It's not correct, people. This paper, give me a break. Those guys, they need to get their stuff straight. Dave Little was sitting there last night, and if he can't get this straight, and I don't know, yep, it says Dave Little, so I don't know who set the title on that one, but again, it's a shame. Too bad it had to happen. One other thing I got to say. Online, there was you could vote online, and it was a rigged vote. Believe it or not. Somebody called the Tribune on it. Said I voted against her. Yes, she should be terminated. It went to no. Another one, same thing. They noticed that that was going on. So you can't take that percentage for Charlene because it was a rigged vote. Two people called the Tribune and talked to Kelly Bolton about it, and he got very upset and said he could do what he wanted to, and they said that they were going to bring some action against him, and then he said, oh, we had a little glitch in the system, and he pulled it off right away. There is no fairness in this town anymore, people. I'm bringing this out because this is what people need to know. But that's how Wilmer works. So anyway, enough on that. I got some more I could talk about, but I just don't want to dwell on that because it is what it is, and it just bothers me that people are just going to keep hammering and hammering. And for every pro person out there for Charlene, there's a person that's happy that she got relieved from her duties, or she's willing to give up her duties. And there's probably some city employees that feel the same way. They're probably relieved. And I'm not speaking for them. This is my feelings of what I've heard and seen in the past. So anyway, let's move on here. There's, how about this dangerous turkey flu going around? We don't hear anything about it. Minnesota is one of the biggest turkey producers in the United States, probably in the world, just about. We don't hear anything about this. Over 40 countries have banned turkey products from Minnesota. Why hasn't that been in our paper? Let's hear something from Hormel on this. I know they're backing a little bit, but Tribune should be on top of this. they're going to kill this city administrator deal, but let's drop that. Let's get on to some of this other stuff. Everybody's affected by this turkey virus that's going around. Last night, gun range was mentioned, which I'm glad, but I feel sorry for Donovan. He kind of was out of his element last night. That's kind of the way I felt when I spoke at the Genio land transfer that time. I was the only one that spoke against it versus a whole packed room pros for it. Oh, before I forget, there was one person that spoke last night. I'm just going to say, don't bite the hand that feeds you. That person was out of line. The gun range rates need to be dropped. Let's get on with this. Let's get the auditorium open. I want to get down there and I want to sharpen my skills. I have my conceal and carry, just like a lot of other people. Come on, what's the holdup? Donovan suggested dropping the rates like to $5 for a half hour and $30 an hour for instructional fees. Again, I'd like to see them, like I suggested in the last Kandi wrapper, charge $20 for a membership and leave the rates the way they are. And then for other people that don't want to pay the $20, well, let them pay $8 a half hour to make up for the difference. Stormwater issues were brought up last night. Joe Riddler, he was kind of out of his element too. And they need to be addressed. Like I said, there was a $100,000 survey done, and it's just sitting out there. We need to address that. We're getting into that season. I don't like to see people have flooded basements again that have had flooded basements in the past. When people say they're going to address this issue, let's address it. Okay. It says, new documents allege teacher made sexual advances towards another student. That we don't hear enough about. Why? I know it's union and it's supposedly alleged, but again, we need to hear more about that. What's going on? Why did that happen out at our school? EDC supports bypass. Who came up with this spur track business in the first place? I'd like to know. Everybody thinks that the railroads are going to be hopping again. They've taken out so many tracks. I don't know if that's possible anymore. Yeah, they move a lot of oil and they move a lot of coal and a lot of grain. Commodities really don't get, for the consumers, just don't seem to get moved anymore like when I worked on a railroad. But again, this deal is going to cost millions. I want the bottom line to come out from the EDC or from somebody saying what's it going to be for taxpayers part of this multi-million-dollar bypass and spur track. It says here, Joint Operations Board has recommended that the EDC contribute $35,000 in matching funds for the project. The money would only be spent if a Tiger grant was awarded for the bypass construction. Well, again, there's still $35,000, which are going to try to get this grant because, says Steve Rehnquist said, a group of city and county officials plan to visit Washington this spring to help the project and the federal grant application move forward. They talk about money being spent on Charlene. Well, here's more money being spent to go out on this little trip to try to save money on a grant, but spend money to save money, just like consultant fees. I don't get it. It's my opinion. So, okay, this one. Excuse me, it's a little breezy in here and my nose likes to run. The vents are right up here, so excuse me. Kandi County Board to discuss habitat tax abatement. You know, my opinion on that one is, I mentioned before, people need to be held accountable for their actions. We have people in positions in certain jobs. Somebody didn't do their job. No, there's a big issue about it. we need to address this. People need to be held accountable. But on this one, we can spend money, and I'm not for this. I mean, I feel they made a mistake. That should be too bad. But all the tax abatements we give in this town, and like I brought up on the last Candy Wrapper 7, tax abatements, and we're paying higher rates in this town than commercial and industrial. They get tax abatements, they have a write-off. I say, let's take care of this. Let's let them buy this time. Let's spank them. Let's educate them so it doesn't happen again. But let's be fair with everybody. But let's give this Habitat for Humanity. Let's fix this snafu here. Okay. Got another one here, domestic assault by strangulation and domestic assault. Again, people, I don't get it why Wilmer has so much of that. Maybe it's because of the jobs we have in town, demographics we have here, people not making enough money, they're behind, they're just losing it. I don't know. We need to get a handle on it. Nobody talks about it. I want to hear city officials bring this up. Let's bring up some of the stuff behind the scenes. Let's not always bring up this big spending stuff and the parks and the school and stuff. Let's talk about reality here. This is part of it. If we got this going on, I don't know where these people are in trouble. Something isn't right here. Let's get to the bottom of it. Okay, blocked wire transfers may spark crisis in Somalia. Well, it's happening more in America, more banks, more institutions that transferred cash for the Somalis are not doing it because of the government's anti-terrorist programs. Hey, nothing against them. You guys brought it on. It's your culture. Sorry, we're just trying to protect America. I don't get it. MnDOT sues Princeburg contractor. Woo! You know, as I read this, it sounds like Dunniks were negligible. But now they're saying statutes of limitations ran out. Too bad. Well, again, if they did shoddy work, there should be some restitution there. They should have to make it right. Not against Dunniks, I'm just saying. I've seen projects in Wilmer. I'll take you over to 15th and Kandi, Ojai. Some of our city officials wrote this one off. I mentioned it before. The elevations of that road are way out of whack. They're too high. The curbs sit like this to the sidewalk. The water from the sidewalk and the boulevard are supposed to drain into the street, not back onto the sidewalk and flood sidewalks and people's properties. But that one was let go. Dunniks did the curbing, and I think they did the asphalt. Did they shoot the elevations? Probably no. Did they see it? I was told they knew about it, but they just went ahead because they said somebody okayed it. That should have been questioned. But anyway, I'm just saying, there's a lot of stuff going on here that gets by, and I don't like somebody should have been able to, what happened, somebody should have been held accountable for it. Okay, Yahoo. It's been a, I'll tell you, that last night's meeting just unbelievable. Minnesota's opinion. Minnesota should not lower the drinking age. I can't believe they're hashing that out again. This has been, we've been through this, it does not work. And with people so distracted on their cell phones and their iPads and all that stuff when they're driving, and they just can't let go of that, we don't need to drop the drinking age, my opinion again. I waited. I graduated in 1970, I was 18. Couldn't wait till 1973 when I turned 21. January of 73 came along, I turned 21. Whew. I could go down the bars, listen to music, have a beer. But guess what? I think it was June or July. It went down to 18. So I waited all them times. I had 6 months to be legal, and then the 18-year-olds came in. I think that lasted for a year. Yeah, schools were complaining, wasn't working too good. So they upped it to 19. I don't know, that probably went another year, and then boop, didn't work. 21, it's been that ever since. So we've been there, done that. I don't think we need to repeat it, my opinion again. I see the guy that allegedly posed as a non-commissioned officer, got 5 years in prison on unrelated gun charges. That's a good thing. Businesses lobby for reduced taxes. Here again, Minnesota is going to price us right out of here. We need to do something about this. We're going to lose more businesses, but thanks to our governor with his multi-billion-dollar tax bill, Minnesota's going to be hurting, people. We're going to be hurting, but that's the way it is. How about this medical marijuana? We were going to have one of the places in town. Boy, that was a big deal going on, and then all of a sudden it fizzled out. Don't hear nothing about it. I'd like to get a little bit more info on that. What happened there? What's the main reason? Another thing is, Hormel had a release out that OSHA couldn't find anything wrong with the plant out there when they had all that sickness. Now, all those people went to the hospitals. Why can't those doctors comment on what was wrong with these people? There had to be something going on there. Otherwise, it was a ploy initiated by a certain group of people out there for who knows what reason. And that's kind of just like the Charlene deal here. Who knows for what reason? Only certain people know the facts on both of those, and we don't. Be nice to know. Okay? Okay, Wilmer Schools. I don't know. That one, I still am not for the 52.6 million, or I don't even know where they're at right now. I haven't been following it that close. I've got other things to do all the time, too. I'm a hot rod guy. I've been helping a friend of mine on a 66 GTO. I'm working on a 36 Pro Street Nash myself. 461 blowing big block. 765 dynoed horse. I have other things to do sometimes besides this, but I like to try to keep you updated on some of the other side of the issues here. Oh, man, I'll tell you what. Here's another one. Records. Some people don't like me reading the records. They don't like to hear about what's happening in Wilmer. Well, fights. Again, you know, there's domestic stuff going on here. Somebody's trying to break into some apartments. Why? I don't know. A lot of records. I'm not gonna. They're kind of bum me out because shouldn't happen. Oh, here's one. Here's a good one. Wilmer man's sentence greatly reduced. Excuse me. A Wilmer man's previously sentenced to 36 years in prison for sexually abusing a young girl had his sentence greatly reduced in court. Oh, man, I'll tell you what. I don't understand this. Greatly reduced. I know they said there was some just hearsay information in there. My question is, did they reduce that? Are they trying to set a precedence for this businessman who allegedly molested those boys, and a couple more of them have come forward? We don't hear anything on that. And you people that like to write out there on Facebook or whatever and comment on everything, comment on this. What do you think about this? I think it's pretty damn sad, excuse me. But are they trying to set a precedent so when this guy goes to court, he's going to get his sentence greatly reduced? Hope not. He took movies of these guys. He gave them sex toys, allegedly. But hey, you do the crime, you do the time. Simple as that. If you're going to slap people on the wrist, I don't want to be here if that's what you guys are going to do. And you've done it for quite a while. Distracted driving is still a risk. That does kill. How true is that about Robert Brow from Wilmer? Got hit head on from somebody crossing the line, wasn't paying attention, probably texting, whatever. People. Takes a split second, you take somebody's life. Be pretty hard to live with. Okay. What else can we talk about here? I'm still just, at last night's meeting just kind of, it's just blowing me away. I just can't, I can't quit thinking about it. It's unbelievable. I mean, again, just to see the people there, nice as a packed house. Like I say, the actions are uncalled for, but you know, that's what people will do, and hey, I see it more and more every day, and I hear it more and more every day, and I guess at my age I thought nothing would surprise me anymore, but it really still does. But I want to talk about my shirt. You see this? This shirt is, I designed this graphic for a friend of mine, lead guitar player, lead singer, Craig Christensen, who passed away in 2007. Every October we call it CCR. Some people call it the Craig Fest. Stands for Craig Christensen Revival. A lot of the musicians that used to play with Craig get together, donate their time out at the Legion, again in October. And it's usually around the 13th, that's when Craig passed away. And we do a tribute to Craig and play some of the music that we used to play. I haven't played for a couple of years now, but there's still about 4 bands we try to get, or they try to get, I should say. I'm not involved in it very much anymore, as I was in the first couple of years. But we've been doing this since, again, 2007. And it's really a fun night. If you like music and like to have a good time, show up. It's, I think you'd like it. So anyway, that's just wear this shirt in memory of my fallen musician, Craig. So anyway, well, I'll tell you what. That should end it for today. But again, people, on this Charlene deal, have your facts down first before you want to comment too much on it, because you know, nobody has anything bad to say. Nobody wishes Charlene any bad in her life. You know, it's just a matter of her knowing you outside the job and you knowing her on the job. There's 2 differences there. But again, nobody wishes her bad. Everybody wishes her good. So let's try to see some positive there, and like I say, don't make comments until you know the facts, and try to find a reason to smile. And until Candy Wrapper 9, I appreciate your time again. Remember, candywrapper@charter.net. Love to hear your comments. Thanks again for watching.